The greatest way to explain this expansion is by using the following word: dung. If you don't know what that means, then you should look it up in a dictionary. I need to get that out of the way because I thought that dung meant, you know, schlong, and I was making a bunch of big schlong jokes, so we're just gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. So let's begin to talk about this new ramp druid that has emerged. So JonBray posted a deck 2 days ago talking about Dungar Druid, and well, in typical Druid fashion, it is taking the mini set card from Druid and just using it to do, well, ridiculous things such as this. You can just summon a bunch of cards out of nowhere that just do a bunch of things all at once, or maybe you can summon a gigantic whale and you can just have a gigantic taunt that just is a big wall for most of the board-oriented decks that are out there right now. So definitely check out this video by JonBray if you want to see the original person that really helped this deck become popular. But this is all from the original deck poster, Icy McSpicy. Very awesome name, by the way. But if we take a look at HS Guru, we can really see the power of Ramp Druid because its popularity is starting to explode throughout a bunch of different streams to where a lot of different lists are running around right now. And we're going to be mostly looking at 2 different lists today. This version that we're seeing on HSReplay currently, as well as the version that I am playing myself that I think has a little bit of validity, but I'm not really sure which one is the best deck right now because Ramp Druid is one of those decks to where there's a lot of bait cards you can put into your deck. There are some synergies that might seem like they're the absolute nuts, but until you find the perfect 30 and you realize the potential of this deck, there are some cards that you should always keep a watchful eye on because maybe they're not as good as you originally think. Case in point, we're going to be talking a lot about Oaken Summons today in order to prove this particular point. But let's go ahead and take a look at the original stats of Ramp Druid right now, because as of right now, it's really good into most, you know, board-oriented decks like a Demon Hunter, for example, if they do not have Kayn. If you play a whale against them, you are just going to win the game automatically. Now, granted, the whale's not in this deck in particular, so I'm kind of upset by that, but there is an amplified Elic right here. So these codes will be available in the deck description below. But it's kind of funny when you look at the stats of Ramp Druid because these stats are all over the place because as of right now through Diamond through Legend, it doesn't exactly have the best win rate. So let's take a look at HSReplay as well as HS Guru's meta tabs in order to see just how good Ramp Druid really is. Because as of right now, Druid's pretty fairly balanced. I mean, I have to say, right on the 50-50 spot. Druid doesn't really see that a lot of times. It's either busted or it's completely worthless. So as of right now, Diamond through Legend, there aren't really a lot of Druid decks except for the typical, you know, Tempo Dragon Druid, Ramp Druid, and Highlander Druid, the typical offenders that we would see. But in typical mini set fashion, Druid really is the only class that is taking advantage of the Travelmaster Dungar. So if we take a look at top 1000 Legend, Druid kind of falls off, and then there's still the Dragon Druid sitting here at like tier 2. And honestly, the higher up that you go, the more fringe Druid decks that you will go up against, such as like Alonius Druid, which seems to be making a comeback at top 1000 Legends. So I'm not really sure what exactly is going on, but I will be trying to get back into top 1000 Legend because Lanessa Paladin looks pretty good right now. We'll talk about that in a future video. But if we take a look at HS Guru, at least taking a look at the popularity of decks and their overall win rates, Diamond through Legend, pretty typical offenders, Painlock, Demon Hunter, Shaman, yada yada yada. But where is the Ramp Druid? The Ramp Druid is sitting at about a 50% with about a 3.2 in popularity, so it's getting popular because it's a somewhat, you know, fun deck that uses the new cards to some degree, but it's not really that good right now. But when you see the high rolls, you will think this deck is just unfair because in typical Ramp Druid fashion, the higher up on the ladder that you go, the better it does tend to get, but it's not really the case here because Ramp Druid is sitting at a 48% with about 2.4% popularity. But keep in mind, this is before we find the optimized deck. So sitting at an unoptimized list, we're already sitting at a 48% win rate. And in typical, you know, scam deck fashion, it is all about doing one particular thing. It's all about playing that Dungar as quickly as you can, baby. So this is the list that is going to be featured in the video up ahead. And like I said, Oaken Summons is going to be a card that I wanted to talk about because I have to be honest with you guys. I'm not sure if Dorian is 100% necessary in this deck, and that's because Dorian might be a card that's a more of a win more card to where you have to support the deck and include specific cards in order to really, you know, milk all of the value that you can get out of it. Because as we saw from the previous deck that we were looking at, there weren't cards like Gloomstone Guardian. There was not a Beached Whale. I don't even think there was a Hydration Station in that particular deck. Oh yeah, and I don't think there was even a Factory Assembly bot. So this deck is just cooler because it uses more wacky minions that I believe you will have a lot more fun with. But feel free to use either list depending on if you want to win or if you want to have fun, but this deck is a lot of fun. So let's talk about Travelmaster Dungar. So one thing that I should say about Travelmaster Dungar is that it summons 3 minions from your deck that are from different expansions. So I have a big question, Play Hearthstone Twitter people. Why is it in the reveal of you showing off this card, not only do you bring out minions that are very underwhelming, but you only bring out 2 minions? Zeddy made a whole video going over this, but the funny thing to show you is just how they got completely ratioed in the comments by Flair. So yeah, funny thing about Dungar, but let's actually talk about how good this ability can be if you think about it for more than 2 seconds. Travelmaster Dungar summons 3 minions that are from different expansions, so you are really challenged to ask yourself, what cards from different expansions do I really want to run? And in my original assessment of this card, in my review of the miniset cards, I pretty much said that Travelmaster Dungar would be summon a Titan from your deck. And that's pretty much what's going on with a lot of Dungar combos. We've got Yogg in the deck, we've got Eonar, so we've got our big Titans, but what other big cards from other expansions should we run? We've got Factory Assembly Bot, for example, from Whizbang's Workshop. We've got Thunderbringer, which is from Showdown in the Badlands. We've got Zilliax, which is also from Whizbang's Workshop, but I mean, you get a big mech either way, still really good. Or you've got a Beached Whale from Perils in Paradise. So there's a lot of particular cards that you can get pretty much guaranteed, and there's also Gloomstone Guardian, which is another Showdown in Badlands card. And now that I've actually looked at it and thought about it, the reason why we don't want this in the deck is because God forbid we play our Dungar and we pull a Gloomstone Guardian. But the reason why the Gloomstone Guardian is in the deck is because it's an elemental for the Thunderbringer. So you play the Thunderbringer, you get another taunt, and you have another reason to play Oaken Summons, for example, to pull out that taunt immediately. Now, looking at this list compared to the other list, I definitely have to say that this is a lot more unoptimal, just because I feel like with playing Oaken Summons in particular as a card, you either run 2 of these or you just don't run any of them at all, because the only reason you want to run this card is for the consistency of pulling out a Gloomstone Guardian, pulling out a Dorian, for example. And I think that Dorian does have a lot of potential with this deck, but as you saw in the other list, the thing with Dorian is that you have to run specific cards that pull things from your deck, like Bottomless Toy Chest, you know, more draw engines, for example. That's how you have to build that particular deck. So it's not about Dorian being necessarily good or bad. It's just that you have to support Dorian so the deck naturally changes. So if I want to play the Whale, I'm gonna play this particular version of the deck. But the easiest way to explain this deck is that you're just a ramp druid that is trying to do your big scam. A lot of people are saying that we're in the Barnes meta right now, to where if you just play your Barnes card, your big scam card that just gives you the automatic win, you just go for it every single time. So this deck is literally all in on just playing your ramp cards like New Heights, Trail Mix, and Malfurion's Gift, as well as your Crystal Cluster, in order to just play your Dungar as quickly as physically possible. Because if you can play this card, you can enable the rest of the deck, like your Thunderbringer, as well as like your Hydration Stations. So go all in, play some fun Hearthstone. This deck is actually a little bit gimmicky, because the thing about Dungar that's a little bit different than Skyla is that, yes, this deck is going all in to play the Dungar almost every single game, but you have a lot of different payouts that you can get. You have a Zilliax, you have Eonar, you have fun things that you can do with Factory Assembly Bot, for example. Yes, this is a scam deck at its core, but it's at least a scam deck that's going to give you a lot of different play patterns, rather than just going all in on playing Tsunamis on turn 5. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, yada yada yada. Standard is becoming a lot more interesting. The meta's actually developing, and Big Spell Mage is not the big bully that I thought it was. But I still hate the deck, you know? I just don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't like Tsunami. It makes me upset. Maybe the deck doesn't need to be nerfed, but something might need to happen because I just don't like it. But thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown. I hope you guys enjoy some degenerate Druid stuff because, oh my, there's a lot of it in this video. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown, and we'll see you for the next video. Dungar Druid apparently might be good if we have ramp. So we've got the dung. How about we show you the power of my dung? Okay, so this on, oh my god, wait a minute, dude, this is like the curve. This is actually the curve. This into 4, and to coin this on 5, this is playable on 6? Yeah, dude, this is the literal dream curve. I buy the Tavern Pass every expansion, but nothing else. I buy the Tavern Pass and the pre-order, and that's all I do. Oh my dear lord. We could actually do it a turn earlier. He who dungs first is gonna win the game here. Pretty sure Team 5 and DG devs were taken hostage by bigwigs of the survey. And ask blink twice if you're kidnapped. I mean, yeah, the survey, we'll go over the survey later. Because, oh my dear lord, it does have like some, hey, do you mind if we do this, haha? And it's like, no, of course we don't want you to do this. But they're probably gonna be like, haha, we're gonna do it anyway. Ooh woo, don't blame us. We have to make money, ooh woo. Playing the same deck like me. I mean, dude, I saw Dungar Druid, and now I could say that I was right in my assessment of the mini set. Like, I'll probably have to like make another tier list in order to like actually say how good these cards are after playing the format for a bit. But dude, I'm so glad I took like 2 days off of playing standard. I recuperated so much. I recovered so much mental health from that. You know what I mean? All right, let's go. He's playing for tempo, but I've got the dung. I win because of the power of my huge schlong and gigantic dong. Let's go, big dong gaming, right? Damn, that's pretty good. All right, that was mwah. Okay, and now if I get a hydration station, this game is actually just over. I mean, the only thing that mattered here was Yogg. I would argue that Yogg was the only card that mattered here. Like, how is Blizzard making money on Hearthstone the first 5 years with the Tavern Pass and Infinite Cosmetics? Because people were always buying packs. Like, I will tell you right now, bro. Like, there's so many more people that were buying packs back in the day. Blizzard has to make more money off less people instead of just having an ass ton of people always buying packs and always buying the expansion. The problem is that they have to monetize the people that have stuck around. Now, just think about it like that. You're appealing to the whales at this point. Because you know there's an X amount of people that will always spend $20 when you give them the option. That's how they're making money. Saying the quiet part out loud. Okay, so this is lethal, right? Draw cards until my hand is full. Okay, is there a way for me to like clear the board here as well? Because this is dealing 6 if it can go face. So swipe this. This could go here. Hero power this. Oh man, there's a lethal here, but I'm so lazy. Chat, why do I have to be so lazy? Okay, so I'm gonna swipe here first. I'm gonna draw until my hand is full. We get another swipe. Can we just make it easy on my brain, please? Okay, it made it easy on my brain. Let's go. All right, power of huge schlong gaming. Let's go. HSReplay won't work. I'll get you a code. I'll get you a code. This deck looks actually pretty sick. And I have to say, in typical Hearthstone mini set fashion, the neutral legendary is just a Druid legendary. You know, it's gonna go in Druid because Druid is the only class that can play it. Has anyone actually tried Sandwich Warrior? Maybe we try to make our own Sandwich Warrior. But I gotta tell you guys, I actually have like a spicy deck idea. Like I'll put it in your guys' brain for now. You know, you can let it, you know, let it simmer, let it marinate, and then we'll come back to it, and then it'll be beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, we have like the curve again. I don't have the Warrior Tourist. I want to try and make a Sandwich Mech Big Warrior. I feel like with Dungar, like maybe there's something that you could do in Warrior as well. I feel like there might be a shot for it. Okay, so I've got this into coin this into this. As long as we don't die in 3 turns. Cthulhu dropping dung on the meta. Oh, dude. Wait a minute. I didn't think about that. I've got my Cthulhu and my dung all over the place right now. Jeez, dude. I'm just shoving it in everyone's face right now. I'm so indecent. My God. When did Hearthstone get so indecent, dude? I wish we could have run Crazed Alchemist and Dung Druid for whales. Yeah, it'd be kind of funny if we could run that, but then suddenly it gets pulled by the dung and you're gonna cry when that happens. What's the spicy drama? The spicy drama is the layoffs and the fact that how they might be potentially monetizing Battlegrounds. And I feel like as a content creator, I should say something about it, but we'll say something about it later. Let me have fun with the game before I have to not have fun with the game, you know what I mean? I have a Sandwich Warrior list if you want to give it a look. Sure, I'll take a look. Like, I feel like Sandwich Warrior, like, the problem with a lot of these archetypes that they have printed in this last expansion is that they are just, like, they're win condition cards, but they're also just, like, scam cards at their very essence, you know what I mean? And I kind of have a problem with that. Like, for example, if this deck is good, then it's an unhealthy play pattern because it's all about just doing this and then automatically winning. Like, if that's how it's gonna be utilized. It's not about the dream where it's like, oh yeah, you could do this and you can get creative with it. It's like, nah, bro, people are just gonna play this and pull the same shit. There were layoffs? Yeah, we'll talk about it later. I have a whole thing planned for it. Clark doesn't get pulled by the dung because it's a core card. Does that count? Yeah, dude, it's an expansion. It's the core expansion. It is a group of cards. A group of cards isn't. I mean, it expands on the game, which is why it's called an expansion. But still, it's the core set, the core set expansion, the core expansion set. Clark back in standard. Yep, I took 2 days off, and I'll tell you right now, I needed it. I really needed it. I was not about to go through the big spell mage. Like I said, I was gonna let other people who were smarter than me figure it out, and look at what they did. They made this, and this is art. Look at that. Bam and bam. Factory assembly bot. You know a deck is based if it's running this. I think the shaman has lost the game. What about you guys? Sorry, I'm vibing to this song. I like it a lot. Andromeda, I feel like, is just like a slept-on band for a lot of people. If you love instrumental metal, you should definitely check this band out. Okay, he gets some healing, but my big minions are still alive. I still bonk them for like 24. So if I mind control, do I want to mind control? Skirt, no. Okay, that prevents lethal. Okay, hold on. No, stop clearing my shit. Okay, hold on. So swipe is now 16, 17. I could just draw into another swipe, and I think it's lethal. Refresh mana. We go to 3. We go to 7. So we could swipe twice. It'd be 1 damage off lethal. That is very upsetting. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna yog it. I'm gonna take this away, so he has less things to draw, which I feel like is important. Cool. Ooh, also cool. Hey, I got the dung! Hey! I'm being indecent again by putting my large schlong on the field. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that I have to keep bringing attention to that, but it's important that you guys understand. All right, I'm gonna do this for the other guardian. Okay, damn, I low rolled. I'm gonna bring this to my hand because worst case scenario, I could probably just end the game automatically with this. Let's go, dude. Stop, dude. I don't know what's going on with song requests. It hasn't been working. I keep launching the program, and it used to be like, you know, get the 3 green checks, and now I only get 2 of them, and I can't check what checks are not working. I don't understand it. I might have to just get a new program, in all honesty. Remind me if the bots, the assembly bots summon are 6 mana. They are 6 mana. They're perfect minions. Oh my god, I never realized this. They are literally 6 mana 6/7s. They are literally perfect minions, guys. How did we not realize this sooner? Okay, so I'm just gonna play my large dung.
Picture the adventure of a lifetime.
Bam. And now if he kills this, I get another whale. I'm gonna go ahead and just forge this because the you know what? I'm gonna bonk him. I'm indecent. I gotta remind him what he's dealing with. Welcome back, Boulder Fist Ogre. Boulder Fist. Okay, hold on. How do we mechanize this? Boulder Fist Ogre. Boulder, but it's spelled with you know, like B0, like all that stuff. You know, 3 for E, that kind of thing. Okay, wait a minute. I can't mind control that. How dare you? This also deals damage to my board. Only 3 though. This doesn't have damage, but at the same time.
Make your choice.
Wait, I see something funny. Wait, at the same time, isn't this just lethal?
Your destination awaits.
It's not lethal, but it is very close. Might as well throw him out. Oh, dude. 0 GR3. Wait a minute. I actually love that. Boulder Fist O GR3. That's it. It's Boulder Fist O GR3. I love that actually. Play dung, win the game. So far, it's 100%. I have played Dungar and I have won the game every single time. All 3 my wins. I got my big dung again, by the way. Dung gaming. Sorry, I have to censor myself. I'm so indecent right now. We might as well censor this card for the entirety of the video. This is a great time to plug the fact that I have an OnlyFans. Go to www.patreon.com/ClarkHellScream.
Keep on panning.
All right, we might have to poke that again because I don't want him to draw, but at the same time, bro, like, I should just be going for ramping tools. You engage with viewers with eclectic music, colorful commentary, not gameplay. I mean, that's true, but imagine if I can't comment on it. Imagine if the gameplay is so uncommentable. That's what I worry about. It's not the fact that I know why people are here, but if I can't comment on the game, that is a problem. You know what I mean? All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna focus on my game plan. Usually when you ask yourself, should I do something other than ramp, the answer is no. So I'm just gonna wait another turn before killing the gold panner. People are lazy, okay, and I'm not gonna engage with people who are too lazy to engage with me. It's like the comment, oh, why do you never call me? Why do you never call me? Communication is a two-way street. Why do I always gotta be the one that calls you, motherfucker? Why can't you make plans, Becky? Why do I always gotta make these goddamn plans? And how come every single plan that you want to do, it involves me spending, you know, an ass ton of money because for some reason you want to go to Tuscany for the summer? Goddamn, Becky, like, come on, have some perspective. It's always Becky, dude. It's always some girl named Becky that's doing that, you know? Oh my God, you have to come to Tuscany with me. Otherwise, you guys aren't my friends. Never give anyone that ultimatum. Never force anyone to spend money, otherwise they're not your friend. It's like, oh, you won't fly across the world for my wedding when I easily could have had my wedding in the same town? Like, come on, dude. All right, we're about to get smacked for a bunch, but I can play Big Dung. So this is a chance to see how good the Big Dung is against this. Only ogres. All right, I hate it, by the way. I really hate this. Okay, Ziliax was honestly a card I wanted to pull from the Dung, but do we just play the Dung? Or do we just still play this anyway? I could get Yogg, Thunderbringer. Feel like it's just better to play the Dung and not risk it. It gives me a larger board, and I can maybe stick this behind a gigantic board as well. All right, let's go. Pretty good pulls. If this could have been a Thunderbringer or a Yogg, it would have been infinitely better. But still, it's a taunt that gets in the way of the 3/6s. I've got a big board now. I could stall for the ENR turn. If we ENR and fully heal, if my board sticks, we do just win the game. Yep, like, dude, this is crazy how this is turn 6, by the way. turn 6 in Hearthstone, it's nuts, dude. This is like literally like some Marvel Snap level type gameplay. So this into another, yup. What happens if you freeze the mech? Its ability still triggers, right? Like, end of turn ability still trigger. So I do this, I attack here, this maybe kills this, and he's somewhat out of gas. Evil versus evil? Honestly, dude, this is like watching Godzilla and King Kong like fight it out, and it's like, no, let them fight. One will kill the other. It'll benefit us eventually, but you must let them fight.
Your destination awaits.
I'm gonna refresh. I'm just gonna go full tempo king. Dope. Like, how does Big Spell Mage actually deal with this kind of board? Like, it literally can't, right? And then just think about the fact that Hydration Station is so good now. Like, that was the one thing that was really sad about me with, like, that really saddened me about Hydration Station, was that, oh man, we're never gonna see a deck that actually utilizes it where it brings multiple taunts back. And well, this is the deck that would do it. This Druid deck is not evil, to be frank. It is based around a clunky one-up. No, I would actually disagree with that. The clunky one-up, if you're referring to Dung, is not the reason why this deck is good. The reason why this deck is good is because of Crystal Cluster. If this deck did not have the cluster, this deck would not exist. That is just a straight-up fact. The decks that are really good are just omega efficient. And we've tried nerfing them, and they're still insanely good. You know what I mean? Like, we've had so many nerfs and so many balance changes, and it's like the same cards keep becoming a problem. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you need your ace cards and all of that, but some of these strategies are just ridiculous. It looks pretty diverse as well. It looks diverse, but it's like you're dying in the same way like most games, I would argue. And that's something that I kind of don't enjoy. Now, granted, this is coming from somebody that literally plays this game for, you know, how many hours a day? So it's like, yeah, there could just be a point where I'm just like kind of burnt out by some of these strategies, because cards like Odin, Insanity Warlock, and Overheal Priest are still driving me crazy, because they were like the big cards of a Festival of Legends to a degree. Like, Insanity Warlock kind of took some time, but still. I like Reno decks, that helps for sure. Oh, dude, if you like Reno decks, then the meta looks fantastic, but that's my problem as well. It's like some of these strategies just seem so anti-fun that I just don't want to play them. And that's just like, that's me for being rigid. That's on me for being hard to please. All right, we'll wait on this for now because I don't really have a need for it. I like Reno decks, but only in Wild. I like Highlander decks that don't play Reno Lone Ranger. Like Reno Priest with like Raza Anduin. Aw, oh, dude, sign me up all day. Sign me up for that, bro. I love that era of Hearthstone. I love that era of hero cards as well, you know? Like, the only card that felt like you won automatically when you played it was, well, I guess it was Gul'dan. And the Hunter one. Because if you play the Hunter one on turn 6 and like value matchups, you just immediately won. Unless your beasts were just completely unplayable. So I could technically draw 2 and refresh and then do this. Is that just better here?
Are you thinking?
I think it might be. Where's my dung, bro? I gotta whip out my large dong. I haven't had the chance to do that. I haven't played Reno since the nerf to Holiday. Oh, dude, you're more blessed than I am. Oh, wait, no, it's Blood DK. Wait, no, Blood DK can deal with this. Wait, no. Oh, this isn't good. Wait a minute. Dungar Demon Hunter? No. That sounds so slow. What? How are you as a Demon Hunter gonna survive by turn 9 and somehow have a better strategy than your opponent? I don't believe that. All right, well. Alright, so we'll try to remove in order to make the 6/6 a bit more impervious to like some of the trades. One thing I'm kind of worried about is him trading and then like playing like Corpse Explosion. But he only has 2 corpses at the moment, so if I pull up, if I end up pulling out a Whale, then I don't think it's that problematic. But we're pulling out Whale and Guardian. Guardian could probably be dealt with, so trying to maximize that body is very important right now. If ENR survives, obviously we go for some card draw. I wonder if you could build the Taunt Warrior with Black Rock and Roll and Dung. Black Rock and Roll on 5 into Trail Mix on 6. You could Dung on 7. And that would work. Just throwing that out there.
I have but little time.
If ENR survives, it's a big W. It looks like the ENR is surviving. Okay. Gimme. Nice. The one thing that does kind of suck, and like one dyssynergy to note, is that if you dung the factory assembly bot, you don't get the mini. That could sometimes be important. Code me, dude. How about I give you a link that has some stats in the deck instead? It also has the deck code. Best broken deck from Diamond to Ladder. Is this really that good? I mean, I don't know how good this is. Like, I just know that it looks fun. I literally didn't want to play Standard until, like, my entire goal, browse Twitter until I found someone that posted a deck that actually looked kind of spicy. And then Jombre last night posted this, and then when I woke up this morning, HS Guru had this version of the deck being highlighted. And I was like, when I looked at the Jombre deck, I was like, I'm not sure about the Dorian. Like, I know why Dorian's in the deck, obviously it makes sense, but it just kind of felt a little bit out of place, especially if we're gonna run the these guys. So I feel like just getting rid of the Dorian makes this deck a lot more consistent. Okay, so hero power here. This summons another minion. If I activate the ENR ability, I don't get the 6/7. We can just play this to get it out of hand. This summons another minion, but I don't need to do it. So we Trail Mix just to get it out of hand. We do this. Lowest attack into the 1/1. He's just a sitting duck until he can clear at this board. So there's just no reason to add any more onto this. Everything else is just unnecessary to play. Like, I guess I could have played Pendant just to cycle through the deck a little bit faster. Yeah, I guess I should have done that just to cycle through my deck. Yeah, we could have played I mean, the healing is irrelevant. We just cycle through the deck in order to have everything that we need when we need it. Because, like, I could have gotten the minions out of deck in order to have the swipe available. That was relevant. My thinking was I want to play Dung if he ends up playing an AoE here. And it would bring out the factory assembly bot and the Gloomstone. And with the 1/1 mini, that could potentially be a lethal. So there's also that argument. Okay, there's a Corpse Explosion. It deals another 5. So Disposal Bot into this, into Hero Power, is exactly 21. That also just works. I mean, that also just does it. I mean, yeah, I mean, hey, that does just do it. There we, in fact, I didn't have lethal with the Dungar. Oh man, wait a minute. The factory assembly bot lethal. The deck knew. And I think I could have drawn it for the Penantiverse, so yeah, we had guaranteed lethal there no matter what. Ah, what a fun deck.